Purdy. Hello, mighty companions. This is Earl Purdy, and I'm here to do A Course in Miracles lesson 76, A Course in Miracles lesson 76, which is, I am under no laws but God's. I'm under no laws but God's. That's the same as saying I'm under no laws but love's. I'm not under any laws but the laws of love. I am under no laws but God's. And the Course in Miracles says that a law is a rule. So it's also the same as saying, I am under no rules but God's. We have observed before how many senseless things have seemed to you to be salvation. Each senseless thing that seemed to you to be salvation has imprisoned you with laws as senseless as itself. Now, you're not bound by these senseless laws, but to understand that you're not bound by senseless laws, to understand that you're not bound by senseless laws. Understand, you are not bound. You are not bound. You are not bound by senseless laws. Yet to understand that you're not bound by senseless laws, you must first realize that salvation and your happiness and your peace and your joy doesn't lie in senseless laws. While you seek for your happiness, while you seek for your salvation, while you seek for peace in things that have no meaning, when you seek for your peace in things that don't have any meaning, you bind yourself to laws and rules that make no sense. You bind yourself to laws and rules that make no sense. Don't bind yourself to laws and rules that make no sense. Don't bind yourself to laws and rules that make no sense. Don't bind yourself to laws and rules that make no sense. Don't bind yourself. Don't bind yourself. Don't bind yourself to laws and rules that make no sense. Because then you're trying to prove that your happiness lies where it isn't. You're trying to prove that your salvation lies where it isn't when you bind yourself to rules that make no sense. Today we'll be glad that you can't prove that you can be happy through things that don't make you happy. Because if you could be happy through things that don't really make you happy, if you could be happy through things that don't always make you happy, if you could, you would forever seek salvation where it isn't. You would forever seek your happiness where it isn't. In other words, you'll never find your happiness if you seek it where it isn't. The idea for today, I'm under no laws but God's. I'm under no laws but the laws of God. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is salvation. Salvation is simple. Your peace is simple. Your peace is simple. You must look for your peace. You must look for your happiness where it waits for you. And you will find your happiness where it waits for you. Look nowhere else but where your happiness waits for you. Because your happiness is nowhere else except where your happiness is, where your true happiness is. I want you to think of the freedom in the recognition that you're not bound by all the strange and twisted laws you've set up to save you. I want you to think about the freedom you would have if you recognize that you're not limited by any of the rules and laws that you've set up to make you happy. Let me give you an example. You really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs, which we call money. You call it money. You really think that you would starve unless you had a lot of money. You really think that you would starve unless you had a lot of money. You really think that a small round pellet or some fluid pushed into your veins through a sharpened needle will ward off disease and death. We really think a pill or getting a shot, the Course is telling us, will ward off disease and death. You really think that you are alone unless another body is with you. You really think that you are alone unless another person is with you, that we call bodies. You really think that you are alone unless another body is with you. It's insanity to think these things. It's insanity to think that you would starve unless you had lots of money. It's insanity to think that unless you take pills and get shots, you can't ward off disease and death. It is insanity to think you are alone just because you don't see another body or just because you don't see another person around you. It's insanity to think these things. We call these things laws and rules, and we put them under different names in a long catalog of rituals that really have no use and serve no purpose. In other words, you think you must obey the so-called laws of medicine. You think you must obey the laws of economics. You think you must obey the laws of health. In other words, you think protect the body and you will be saved. If you just protect your body, you will be all right. These are not laws This is madness. This is madness. These are not laws. Do you know that your body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself? Do you know that the body is endangered by the mind that's hurting itself? Do you know that the body suffers just in order that your mind will fail to see it's the victim of itself? Do you know that your body suffers, and when your body suffers, it's just your mind failing to see that it's your mind that's creating it? Do you know that the suffering of the body is just a mask that your mind holds up to hide what really suffers? Your mind would not understand it's its own enemy, that it attacks itself and wants to die. It is from this your so-called laws would save the body. It's for this that you think you are a body. There are no laws except the laws of God. There are no laws except the laws of love. There are no laws except the laws of love. There are no laws except the laws of love. This needs repeating over and over until you realize it applies to everything that you've made in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning. Your illusions have no meaning. What it is meant to save doesn't exist. Only what your magic is meant to hide, only what your magic and illusions are meant to hide will save you. Do you know that the laws of God can never be replaced? The laws of love can never be replaced. The laws of love can never be replaced. We will devote today in rejoicing that the laws of God can't be replaced. It's no longer a truth that we would hide. We realize instead that there are no laws but God's is a truth that keeps us free forever. You're under no laws but God's is a truth that keeps you free forever. Magic imprisons, the ego imprisons, fear imprisons, but the laws of God make free. The laws of love make free. The light has come because there are no laws but God's. The light has come because there are no laws but God's. We will begin the longer practice periods today with a short review. We're going to do a short review of the different kinds of laws or rules we have believed we must obey. These would include, for example, we believe we must obey the so-called laws of nutrition. We believe we must obey the laws of immunization. We believe we must obey the laws of medication. We believe we must obey the laws of the body's protection in innumerable ways. Now, I want you to think a little bit more. Think further. You believe in the laws of friendship. You believe in the laws of so-called good relationships. You believe in the laws of reciprocity. Perhaps you even think that there are laws which set forth what is God's and what is yours. Many religions have been based on this. Many religions wouldn't save but damn in heaven's name, damn in God's name. Yet they are no more strange than other laws you hold must be obeyed to make you safe. There are no laws but God's. The only laws are the laws of God. The only laws are the laws of God. The only rules are the rules of God. The only rules are God's rules. Dismiss all foolish magical beliefs today. That means hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. Hold your mind in silent readiness to hear God's voice, the Holy Spirit, speak the truth to you. Now, how can you tell when the Holy Spirit is speaking the truth to you? How can you tell when you're listening to the voice for truth? How can you tell when you're listening to the voice for God? Well, you will be listening to one who says, there is no loss under the laws of love. You can't lose under the laws of love. This is what the truth will tell you. You can't lose under the laws of God. There's no such thing as loss under the laws of love. Payment is neither given nor received. Payment isn't given nor received under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received under the laws of love. Exchange cannot be made. Exchange cannot be made. That means there are no substitutes. That means nothing is replaced by something else. Nothing or no one is replaced by someone or anything else. God's laws forever give. The laws of love always give, they never take. The laws of love always give, but never take. The laws of God always give, but never takes. Hear the voice for God who tells you this. Realize how foolish are the so-called laws you thought upheld the world. You thought you see. You don't realize how foolish are the laws you thought upheld the world you thought you saw. Then listen further. The voice for truth, the voice for God, the voice for love will tell you more about the love your Father has for you, about the love your Father has for you, about the endless joy your Creator offers you, about your Creator's yearning for your Creator's only creation, created as its channel for creation, denied to God by its belief in hell. You're denied to your Creator. You're denied to love by your belief in fear. Let us today open God's channels to God. Let us today let God's will extend through us to God. Thus is creation endlessly increased. God's voice will speak of this to us, as well as the joys of heaven, which His laws keep limitless forever. We will repeat today's idea, I am under no laws but God's, until we have listened and understood. There are no laws but God's. There are no laws but God's. The only laws are the laws of God. The only laws are the laws of innocence. The only laws are the laws of God. Then we will tell ourselves as the dedication with which the practice period concludes. I'm under no laws but God's. I'm under no laws but God's. I'm under no laws but God's. We will repeat this dedication as often as possible today, at least 4 or 5 times an hour, as well as in response to any temptation to experience ourselves as subject to other laws throughout the day. I am under no laws but God. It is our statement of freedom from all danger and all tyranny. It is our acknowledgement that God is our Father and Creator, and that we, God's Son, is saved, saying, I am under no laws but God's. You are under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. You are under no laws but God's. The only laws that you are under are the laws of God. You are under only the laws of God. The laws of God are the only laws that you are under. The only laws that you have to obey are the laws of God. The only laws that actually exist are the laws of God. God's laws are the only laws. God's laws are the only laws. I am under no laws but God's. You are under no laws but God's. You're not under any rules but God's rules. You're not under any rules but God's rules. You're not under the rules of man. You are not under the rules of the world. You're not really and truly governed by the laws of the world. You're not really governed by the laws and rules of the world. You're under no laws but the laws of your Creator. You're under no laws but the laws of your Creator. You operate under the laws of your Creator. You operate under the laws of your Creator. Your Creator's laws are the only laws that you operate under. You are under no laws but the laws of God. You're not under the laws of the world. You are not under the laws of the world. You are under the laws of God. You are only under the laws of God. You are under no laws but God's. You're not under any laws but God's laws. The only laws that have any meaning, the only laws that are true, the only laws that you have to obey are the laws of God. That's the laws of love. You are under no laws but the laws of love. The only laws that you are under are the laws of love. The only laws that you want to rule you, the only laws that you have to obey are the laws of God. You're not under the laws of money. You're not under the laws of medicine. You're not under the laws of special relationships of the world. You are only under the laws of God. You are only under the laws of God. The laws of God are the only laws you have to obey. And the laws of God are the laws of innocence. The laws of God are the laws of innocence and the laws of abundance and the laws of real love and freedom and happiness and security and truth. You are under no laws at all. The only laws that rule you are the laws of God, not the laws of your ego. The laws of your ego do not rule you. The laws of fear do not rule you. The laws of guilt do not rule you. The laws of loneliness do not rule you. The laws of sickness do not rule you. You are only under the laws of God. You are only under the laws of God. The laws of God are the only laws you need to obey, are the laws of God. Don't pay attention to any laws really, except the laws of God. And of course, in Miracles, it's a great way to get in touch with the laws of God, which are the laws of love, which are the laws of freedom. So you are under no laws but the laws of freedom. You are under no laws but the laws of freedom. You are under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. Repeat that over and over again today as much as you can, as much as you can think about it. Whenever it comes to mind, say, I am under no laws but God's. 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 Okay, mighty companion, this is Earl Purdy. Check me out at my website, www.earlpurdy.com, where you can watch videos of my classes, listen to audios of my classes, and get this new thought system reinforced in you. Remember, you are are under no laws but God's. You are under no laws but God's.